यस सर, यस सर, ठीक है, थैंक यू. बस रिमाइंडर साठी केला होता. यस यस यस. उगले सर, तुम्ही शेअर करून घ्या.
सर
तुम्ही तुमचं फर्स्ट स्लाइड शेअर करून घ्या म्हटलं. सर येतात आहे.
हो
आले सर. So, my dear participants, welcome again for this AICT sponsored 1 week short term training program on computational intelligence in earthquake resistant design.
Good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon, sir. So first we will introduce you and then
Can you hear me?
Presentation.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. You are audible very well.
Okay, okay.
Sir, you are audible, sir. So, dear participants, welcome again for this third session of the day 2. So, on the behalf of Department of Civil Engineering, Professor Ram Meghe, College of Engineering and Management, Badnera, I welcome to all the participants and today's guest speaker, Dr. R.K. Ingre sir. So, I invite Professor Ugle sir to introduce the today's speaker, and then Professor Ingre will start his presentation. Ugle sir, over to you.
Good afternoon, dear all. Extended warm welcome to all in the AICTE sponsored 1 week short term training program on computational intelligence architecture design. I find immense pleasure in introducing our honorable guest, Sir Dr. R.K. Ingre sir. Dr. R.K. Ingre sir, working as professor and dean in Department of Applied Mechanics at NIT Nagpur. His area of specialization in different fields like structural dynamics, finite element method, earthquake analysis, and design. Prominent journal and paper publications in Indian Concrete Journal, he published more than 10 plus papers, and in other prominent publications, he did the 10 plus more publications. As a student guided, he guided 2 PhD research candidates And in case of the sponsored project, he did 3 in consultancy research project, 50 plus students guided under his achievements and responsibilities. The head of the department in VNIT, also in charge of construction and dean of FNW. So I welcome Dr. R.K. Ingre sir to enlighten over the topic. Welcome you, sir. Ingre sir.
Yes, sir. He's coming. Sir, you can start now. उगले सर तुमचं शेअरिंग बंद करा. Sir, you can start now, and you should please share your presentation and then you can start. So there was one phone call. Sir, you can start now. You can start now, sir.
हा. मी नंतर वाचून घेतो. काही लागलं तर मग मी तुम्हाला कॉल करून
माझा नंबर आणि
ठीक
ठीक आहे
चालेल.
थँक्यू.
Shall we start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are waiting. Please share your presentation and we can start.
I am ready.
Yes, sir. Please start. Sir, we can start now. Yes. Please share your presentation and we can start. Yes, sir.
Okay, shall I start?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please start.
I'm not hearing anything.
No, sir. It is
ठीक
very
ठीक है
clear
हे
from
पैसे
your
ठेवून
side.
घे. बरं ठीक ठीक आहे 2 चाहताना घेऊन या मला कारण 2ला मला नाही का माझ्या 2 गोळ्या आहेत हं. एक ते युरिक ऍसिड वाल्या आणि या बीपीच्या. Shall I start? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I am not able to hear anything.
Sir, your
Okay. Acha, my speaker is muted. Okay, I will just check.
Sir, your mic is now muted.
Okay.
Yes, now please.
Yes.
Yes, now it is clear.
Okay. So bridges and retaining wall.
Yes, sir.
I'm just trying to see where is that chart. Okay, I'm just making it small here. Okay. Now, see 1893, now there are 5 parts. One is for general provision of buildings. Second is liquid latrine tanks and elevated ground supported. Then bridges and retaining wall. Fourth one is industrial structure. And fifth one is dam and embankment. A sixth one is coming, that is on solution. Okay. Bridges, we can have old bridges. Okay. Then we'll have different types of bridges, that is slab bridge, beam girder bridge, box girder bridge. We can have special bridges, that is cable stay bridge, suspension bridge, and etc. See, this is a girder type of bridge basically. This is the main girder. Okay. This is main girder, and this is a slab over it. You can see this is a girder. Okay. This is pier cap. This is a column, support, and below there will be foundation. Okay. You can see here. Now you can see here also the girder is continuous. You can see here continuous girder. Nowadays, it is called as an integral bridge also. Concept of integral bridge is becoming more and more popular. Okay, because more the indeterminacy, better is for earthquake. You can see now here also. These are frames. Okay, substructure is of frame, and you can see girder. They are continuous. Okay, you can see here. Now these are integral bridge. No bearing are required. Okay, see bearing is what every 20 years, 15 years you have to replace it, and that itself is a big job. Okay, so now most of these developed countries, they are coming up with integral bridges. Okay, that is fully connected, rigid. Okay, this is a cable stay bridge. Okay, this is again cable stay bridge. This is suspension. It vibrates in this direction as well as horizontally also. Okay, that's why this cables. Okay, if you see section, sometimes they are inclined like this also. Okay, again you can see this is example of cable suspension bridge. This is another type of bridge. Okay, again integral, and this is a FEM model of it. Okay, these are some other type, fancy type bridges. Okay, you can see here. Okay, it should look nice also. There should be landmark in the city. Okay, and all these bridges. Now, seismic analysis mainly demands 3D model of bridges. We can do dynamic analysis. We can go for elastic crack section. Even we can go for inelastic analysis also. In case of dynamic, we can go for response spectrum analysis as well as time history analysis. We have to combine various horizontal components, that is X and Y, as well as vertical components also. Okay. You can see this is again, see, sky is the limit to prepare mathematical model. In one model, what happens? We assume fixed base. Okay. And in another case, we can consider the flexibility of soil. Okay. You can see both results will be totally different. Okay. Nowadays, this concept is coming up now. Push-over analysis of bridges. Okay. So this means we are going for non-linear analysis. Okay. See, it is a push-over analysis for a cantilever type of bridge. This is for portal type of bridge. Okay. The mathematical model shown using solid models. Okay. See, this is hollow pier. Okay, you can see this is a hollow pier. Then foundation, pile cap, then piles. Okay, you can see. Now, before going for this code, they can occur to the bridge. Okay, you can see here, damage type. It can be brittle type. It can be ductile type. Okay, see, brittle type means what? At this particular point, you will find there is a damage, and here also. Okay, ductile you can see at this particular point. Okay, you can see this is one bridge. Okay, now this bridge damage has occurred because of flood. Okay, then this is on the damage bridge. You can see the dislocation of this particular joint. Okay, you can see here. Okay, two span dislodged separately. Okay, no, not two span. See what happened. This was a superstructure. Okay, this is a pier cap. This has fallen down. You can see here, and it has cracked at this particular location. Okay, it is under view. You can see this also. Okay, a bridge has collapsed. Okay. See, here also you can see. See, superstructure. See, it has not failed. It has dislodged. Okay. You can see here also dislodging of the bridge. You can see here also. Okay, you can see here dislodging, because what happens, this particular sitting arrangement here was inadequate. Okay, so that's why when earthquake came in this direction like this, shaking, okay, it moved like this. Since this particular sitting was less, it has collapsed. Okay, you can see same thing here. Okay, sitting was inadequate here also. You can see here also. Okay, so majority of bridges, they fail because of inadequate sitting. Only some few, they fail because of substructure failure. You can see here now. Here it has tilted. Okay, maybe because of soil movement. Okay, you can see here. Okay, see what happened here. Height was less. Horizontal force might have got developed in this particular pier. Okay, so it has sheared off like this. Okay, this is also, you can see the failure, under failure. Okay, you can see under failure of this particular slab, plus you can see the tilting of this particular superstructure, substructure. You can see here inadequate sitting arrangement. Okay, this is bulging of column. You can see inadequate links. Okay, you can see links spacing is quite large. Okay, you can see here again inadequate sitting. Okay, see majority of failures there because of inadequate sitting and non-ductile reinforcement, placing of non-ductile reinforcement. You can see here also nothing has happened to this. Okay, now you can see this is double decker. You can see this particular slab, top one, has collapsed on this bridge. Okay, you can see here, but still this particular bridge, you can see bottom one, it is still intact. Of course, there are different retrofit strategies which can happen by using restrainer cables, elastomeric bearings, column beam wrapping by maybe steel fiber or carbon wrapping, okay, monopiles, if we have to go for improvement in soil properties. Okay, so after these failures, let us try to understand now what IS 1893 part 2 is. Okay, see, it covers bridges and retaining wall. Okay, now it says, it gives definition of regular bridge as well as irregular bridge. Okay, regular bridge means what? No abrupt or usual change in stiffness, mass or geometry along the span. Bridge shall be considered as a regular if it is a straight. Okay, the adjacent pier do not differ in stiffness by more than 25%. Okay, and the girders, okay, spans less than 120 meter and pier height less than 30 meter. See, this is given by a IRC, and below I have written whatever is given in RDSO for railway bridges. Okay, more or less you will find it is almost same. Okay, so this is irregular bridge. If we cannot qualify it a regular bridge, it will be called as a irregular bridge. Okay, so all other types of bridges are irregular bridge. Okay, we have to define our bridges whether they are regular or irregular, because based on that our analysis methodology is decided. Okay, then there can be components, superstructure, substructure, bearing and foundation. Okay, masonry and plain arch bridges which span more than 10 meters are not recommended in zone 4 and 5. Okay, we can use site specific spectra also. Okay, we can go for elastomeric bearing. Okay, but with the condition that our R value will be 1 for design of foundation. Okay, you can see. Okay, bearing shall be tested for cyclic loading. Then interlinking of bridges. Okay, see what happened. Why this interlinking? Okay. Because what happens if you do interlinking, that whatever that dislodging of superstructure has occurred, we can avoid that. Okay. Even nowadays there is a growing demand to go for deck continuity bridges. See, deck continuity bridges means what? Decks are continuous and below beams are simply supported. Okay, but decks are continuous, because you can see in that particular case we can avoid at least the part which requires regular maintenance, that is expansion joints, but we cannot avoid bearings. Okay, bearings will be there because it is simply supported. Okay, so that is also coming up nowadays, and more or so integral bridges, they are taking advantage now in case of seismic analysis. Okay, then capacity design is allowed for bridges in seismic zone 3 and above. Okay, especially for substructure. Okay, there is a serviceability limit state. We have to check our bridges for serviceability limit check. See, serviceability limit check means what? It is checking the deflection, either L by D ratio, or we calculate the deflection. Okay, and ultimate limit state. That ultimate limit state is for flexure, shear, torsion. Okay, and apart from that, stability calculations also. Okay. This is on assumptions. Okay, while doing the earthquake analysis. Okay. See one thing here. This is the main assumption we can see. Seismic forces on lie load shall not be considered in longitudinal direction. Okay. That means, see, generally what happens, we calculate the time period, assuming it is single degree of freedom system. Okay. And that is calculated by this particular expression. Basically, time period is equal to 2 pi root m by k. Okay. Now, while evaluating this mass, okay, we need not take, code says we can ignore the lie load in longitudinal direction. But when we do earthquake analysis in transverse direction, we have to take some part of lie load. Okay. We calculate seismic force. As per that seismic weight, we calculate it is a weight of superstructure. Some part of substructure also we have to take. Okay, and lie load is taken as a 20%. Okay, but 0 for rural roads and 30% for rail bridges. Okay, for road bridges we take lie load in seismic weight calculation in transverse direction, 20% for road bridges, 0 for rural bridges, and 30% for rail bridges. Okay. Even RDS also gives similar one. Okay, but it says 50% of lie load. Okay. Even vertical seismic force also shall be calculated with 50% of lie load. Okay. Now we calculate seismic force, seismic acceleration using this expression. AH is equal to Z by 2, I by R, SA by G, where Z is seismic zone factor, I is importance factor, okay, R is response reduction factor, and SA by G depends on the time period. Okay. So this is for zone, different zone. Okay, we have got different Z. Okay. See, at the boundary, we have to take higher zone, okay? But sometimes still it is very difficult to take, okay, to locate our bridge, okay, because you can see it is very difficult from here, okay, to locate our location of the bridge. So BMTPC has given directly locations, okay. You can see now for Maharashtra, I'm just putting it for Maharashtra. Zone 4, Kolhapur, Pune, Raigad, Ratnagiri, Sangli and Satara, they come under Zone 4. Then Chandrapur, Gadchiroli, Mumbai, Thane, Yavatmal, Ahmednagar, Akola, Amravati, Aurangabad, they come under Zone 3, okay, other in Zone 2, okay. Seismic action in vertical direction, we normally take it. Code recommends third of horizontal, okay, AH, okay. But this AH, okay, see what happened. Whatever AH we are calculating here, see this AH is based on time period, okay. But while calculating AH for vertical direction, this should be taken as a 0 because vertical direction time period is always close to rigid, okay, action. Okay. So that we have to make sure. Then we have to combine this earthquake forces also. See what happened. We calculate earthquake force in longitudinal direction. We calculate earthquake force in transverse direction. We calculate earthquake force in vertical direction. Okay, and then the response are combined. Okay. Now I will give one example here how to combine it. Let's say this is a pier. Okay, and at this particular point we have to do the design. Okay. Now here what happened? We get forces because of dead load. We get forces because of SIDL. We get forces because of live load. We get forces because of earthquake. Okay. Now, suppose now earthquake also we get longitudinal direction, we get in transverse direction, and we get in vertical direction. Okay. Now, how to combine? Let's say we are interested in calculation of moment here, Mx. Okay. So what we do normally? See these load factors as given by IRC, okay, or IRS score. But how to combine these earthquake forces? We take, let's say, we take major direction earthquake first, Mx, with 100% of Mx when earthquake is in X direction, and Mx value when earthquake is Y direction, 30% of that. And second time we reverse it, 30% of Mx because of X direction earthquake, and 100% of Mx because of transverse direction earthquake. Okay. So this is for Mx. Same thing we have to do for vertical loads. Same thing we have to do for horizontal shears and other moments also. Okay. So like that we have to combine all these moments responses. For even for regular bridges, we have to take all the three components: X direction, Y direction, and Z direction. This is our spectra, okay, which is given in, okay. This is our simple pier, foundation, moment, okay, and we get the time period on this, okay. See, sometimes it is better to, because what happens, every day time you will not get uniform pier or anything like that, okay. There is possibility that it is a step pier like this, okay. There is a tapered pier like this. Sometimes piers are like this also, okay. So you can do in simple computer program also, mathematical model of this, okay, and lump the mass at the top, okay. Divide this column also into number of small elements, so that its self mass is taken automatically by software, and you do the analysis. Even in this case, it is very easy to even take foundation flexibility also into account. So it is not like that every time we should go for very simple mathematical model. Even we have to do earthquake analysis in vertical direction. You can see now, this is a frequency in vertical direction. Okay. See, generally it is recommended now in Eurocode that this frequency has to be more than 100 by span. 100 by span. Span is in meter. Okay. Miss, if let's say our span is 30 meter, okay, whatever frequency we are calculating for this beam in this particular direction, okay, it is a vertical direction frequency. It should be more than 100 by span, that is 3.33 hertz. Okay. Otherwise, this code suggests that we have to go for detailed dynamic analysis. We cannot go for simple static analysis. Okay. These are the formulas given for calculation of frequency. Very simple formula. It is 18 by root delta. Delta is in mm. Okay. This is when W is 0. Okay. Now in this case we can have anything. Okay. We can have even fixed beam also. Okay. Prop cantilever also. We have to just calculate displacement. Okay. In mm. Okay. 18 by root mm is frequency. Okay. Very simple. See, we have defined our bridges, whether they are regular bridges or irregular bridges. Okay. In regular, there are regular as well as special regular. See, design basis earthquake we have to use, and if it is a regular bridges, we can go for seismic coefficient method if they are regular bridges. But if they are regular, special regular, we have to use response spectrum method, or we can go for time. We have to go for time history analysis, and if it is specially irregular, we can go for response spectrum method or time history analysis, or we can go for nonlinear analysis also. That is a nonlinear Kushner analysis. Okay. See, this is design basis earthquake. It is defined in 1893 part 1. Design basis earthquake and maximum creditable earthquake. Okay. In case we have to use maximum creditable earthquake, okay, then we have to go for nonlinear analysis or time history analysis for even regular bridges also. So this even RDS also they have given, okay, depending on the zone, okay, how to perform the analysis. Okay, everything is given. Okay, I will not go into detail of this one. Okay. Even they have given what is seismically preferred and what is seismically non-preferred also. Importance factor. Okay. Now you can see road bridges. For road bridges, these are the importance factor. They range from 1 to 1.5, depending on the bridge, type of bridge. Okay. If it is a, let's say for example, if it is a river bridge, flyover bridge inside city, our importance factor is 1.2. Okay. And 1.5 is there when bridges are more than 1 kilometer length, and bridges for which alternative routes are not available. Okay. Then RDSO, this railway, they give little bit different importance factor, okay, depending on bridge category 1, 2, 3. Okay, you can see category 1 it is 1.5, category 2 it is 1.2, and other bridges it is 1. This is importance factor. This is response reduction factor. Okay, it is given in IS 1893 part 3. Okay, depending on cases. Now you can see here a cantilever beam, a cantilever type, wall type. Okay, R factor is 3. Okay. Just see here. integral bridges. You can see here integral bridges with ductile detailing. R factor is 4. Okay, that means we are designing our structure for 1/3 less earthquake force, 25% less earthquake force. Okay, but you can see how we have to design the bearings. Okay, for bearing R factor is 0.8. For design stopper, R factor is 1. Okay, for designing foundation, R factor is 1. Okay, for designing expansion joints, connection within span, R is equal to 1. Okay, so we have to keep in mind all these things. Okay, superstructure, R is equal to 1. Okay, only substructure where ductile heating can be provided, we say that R will be more than 1. This is response reduction factor given for RDSO bridges. Okay. You can see here masonry or PCC piers. Okay, it is very less. Okay, as compared to RCC column with ductile detailing as well. Okay, it is a 4 without ductile detailing. It is a 2.5. Okay, so that's why it is always better to go for response ductile detailing, so that our response reduction factor is high and we can reduce. We are designing for less earthquake forces because this ductility, it can absorb more earthquake forces. Okay. For connection and stopper, again R value we have to take as a 1. Okay. This is a definition of soil strata. What soil we'll call it as a type 1, which soil we should call it a type 2, type 3. Okay, it is given in this code. Now based on that we can call it as a type 1, type 2, type 3. And why it is required? Because it needs for our spectra. Okay, even if there can be layered soil strata. Okay, okay, there can be layered strata. See, this is one layer, second layer, third layer, fourth layer, like that. And if you have to evaluate the N value, okay, because N value is required. Code says that
Sir, your
our N value
sharing was off.
This is code gives limiting N value. Okay.
Your PPT sharing was
So
off.
we can calculate the equivalent N value for different layers with using this expression and make sure that it satisfies this codal requirement. We can have certain permissible increase, okay, in case of hard soil and steep soil. But you can see there is another thing on soft soil. No permissible increase is allowed in case of soft strata. Okay, you can see soft strata means what?
Sir, your PPT sharing was off.
N is less than 10. Okay, and clay type of soils.
Sir, please share your PPT.
We have to go for soil structure interaction also. Okay, see, soil structure interaction we can ignore if our N value, that is SPT value, is more than 50, it is very strong, or velocity, okay, shear wave velocity is more than 760 meter per second. Okay, otherwise what happens? See, it is quite simple. Okay, we can take this steepnesses of we can calculate the steepnesses of foundation, okay, and apply it as a spring. You can see here, okay, but this expression gives for steepness of this foundation at surface. That means on ground we have got foundation, but many times what happens, our foundation will be inside the ground.
Sir, your PPT was off.
Okay. So for that also correction factors are given.
Your PPT sharing was off, sir.
Which is depend on how much embedment our foundation is. Okay.
Sir, your
So
PPT
quite
sharing was
accurately we can perform the soil structure interaction
English, sir.
for our bridge.
Sorry to interrupt, sir.
Bridge
Yes,
सरांचा
sir.
माईक बंद आहे, सरांचा स्पीकर बंद आहे. चॅट
In
केलं मी
case of
सरांना.
river bridges, we have to calculate hydrodynamic forces. Okay, this hydrodynamic forces, this expression is given here. You can see F is equal to C. C is given here. Okay, which is based on height of submerged portion of the substructure divided by radius of enveloping cylinder. Now this radius of enveloping cylinder.
सर तुमचं प्रेझेंटेशन शेअरिंग झालेलं आहे.
Oh, sorry.
प्लीज शेअर.
Oh. I will. I don't know how.
नाही काय माहित कसं काय झालं, आपोआप बंद झालं त्याच्याने. जस्ट आताच झालं ते. येस, नाउ इट इज विजिबल. एक दोन स्लाइड मागे घेऊन घ्या.
Can you see now?
येस. दोन
Yes.
एक स्लाइड मागे. हां, येस.
I will just start from soil structure interaction.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, तिथून चालू होतं. Yes, it is.
See, soil structure interaction generally it is done. Okay. I hope now
Yes, it is clear.
you
Please continue.
can.
Please continue, sir.
You can see my presentation also.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
I don't know. For a second. Where is the chart? I'm not able to
bottom.
get chart.
At the bottom.
Okay. Yes. I will just open chart now. Okay.
It is okay now, sir.
So anything is there, anything doubt, you can just put in the chart. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yes, sir. Please continue.
See, soil structure interaction, I will start from this. Okay. I don't remember from there. Just one second. Hello. हो मी जस्ट लेक्चर मध्ये हो लगेच मी त्याला थांबायला सांगितलं. This soil structure interaction, if n value is greater than 50 or shear wave velocity is more than 760 meter per second, we need not do it. Okay. These are the springs. We can very easily calculate the spring stiffnesses. Okay. See, this spring stiffness is calculated, okay, at the surface, assuming it is at the surface, okay, like this. But most of the times our foundation is embedded, okay. So even correction is also given, okay. So this all formulation is given in our IRC 1893. So this is the formula which is given for calculation of hydrodynamic force. Okay. Now here it depends on height of submerged portion of pier divided by radius of enveloping cylinder, and that radius of enveloping cylinder based on this particular direction. Okay. It is again orientation of pier as well as direction of flow. Okay. So based on that, this particular height, this expression, we can calculate C. Once C is known, H we have already calculated, okay, and W is weight of water in this particular cylinder, hypothetical cylinder, okay, of radius of enveloping cylinder. Then vertical direction also, this distribution we can calculate like this, okay. But here we have to assume, because we have to assume any one set here and try to calculate by that. Okay. This is for submersible bridges. Okay. These are the load combinations. Okay. These are ultimate limit state load combination. These are for serviceability limit, and these are for construction stage analysis. Okay. See, IS has given now minimum earthquake force also. Okay. So depending on category of structure, okay, bridges, and depending on zone, it is given here. Now you can see this is very important. Why majority of bridges they have failed? Because of dislodging. Because this particular setting was inadequate. Okay, so you can see now code has given this setting. Okay, you can see this setting. Okay, for let's say zone 3. Okay, it is 203 mm plus 1.67 multiplied by span. Span is in meter, plus 6.66 into height of pier, that is also in meter. Everything in will get in mm. Okay, and this particular SE is here. Same SE will be here. Okay, and this whatever we need. Okay, so our setting has to be that much now. You can see this W. Okay, now with this is a minimum requirement. We can provide more than that. Okay. Then bearings also, they can be different types of bearings. Okay. Of course, while evaluating earthquake forces to design the bearing, we have to make sure that we are taking R is equal to 1. Okay. There are other types of also vertical holding down devices are also there. Anti-dislodging elements also there. You can see here. Okay. See, you can see if that sitting is not possible. Okay. You can see here. Mechanical devices are provided. You see here, it is connected to pier, and here it is connected to bottom of superstructure. You can see it is like this. See, it is connected to bottom of superstructure, and here face of substructure. So we can have such type of units also. Okay. They are called as shock transmission units, and they can be used as a dislodging element also. Okay, means they avoid dislodging of the superstructure. Okay, these are for base isolation. Okay, then ductile detailing. We have seen few failures because of ductile detailing also. Okay, now that is given. Okay, I will directly come to that formulation. See, depending on whether it is a circular, okay, or rectangular cross section of pier, we have got two different formulation given. Okay. Of course, this is that spacing up to what we have to provide. Okay, that is L0 distance, and you can see that L0 distance means what happens. See, this is a point where maximum means this. Our plastic hinge can occur here. Okay, just 1 second. 1 second. हे मला द्यायची का मी तुमच्यावर देऊन देतो सही करून ते ठीक आहे 2 मिनिटं तो 5 मिनिटांनी येतो का नाही माझं लेक्चर झालं हो 2 चात येऊन जा फक्त 2 See, these are the points where plastic hinge can occur. Okay, so that's why we have to provide our this confining reinforcement in this particular zone. You can see in case of portal, it is at the top and bottom here. Okay, and this distance is given here 1.5 times column diameter or 1.5 times larger cross dimension. 1/6 clear height of the column, 1/4 clear height of the column for cantilever part, and so on. Minimum is 600 mm. Okay. See, this is the formulation to be used to calculate that links. Okay, we have to use both, and we have to provide maximum of these two. Okay. This is when it is a circular. Okay. This is when it is a this is when it is a rectangular. This is when it is circular. Okay. See, this code also gives calculation of elevation of earthquake forces on retaining walls. Okay, retaining walls, return walls, abatements. Okay, so that soil pressure, how to calculate soil pressure because of earthquake? You can see it will be function of, see, plus minus here. See, this AV is vertical direction seismic coefficient. Okay, and it is a plus minus. So this coefficient you will get plus minus here. Okay. Now what happens? This coefficient, if we take AV here, okay, with seismic delta and AV is there. That means what? It is a seismic. Okay, so this we get CA with seismic case. Okay, so it is static plus seismic both together. If we ignore this one, okay, we take this both AH is equal to AV is equal to 0. Okay, we'll get CA only for static case. Okay, so now suppose we want two different, this one, okay, seismic coefficient, seismic lateral force because of soil pressure is different and static different. We can do that, okay, by doing these two things. Okay, CA we calculate with AV and AH, and again CA we calculate without AV and AH or making them 0. And difference between these two is earthquake contribution. Okay, this is required. Why? Because static component is acting at 0.42 times height of the abatement from the base, whereas seismic is acting at 0.5 times H. Okay, so that's why we have to do it for static as well as dynamic. Okay? And this is given for surcharge also. Okay, with saturated soil clay and all these things. Okay, so this is the what is given in IS 1893 part 1. Part 3. It is basically only for bridges. Okay, and I try to add whatever is given by railway road code also, that is by RDSO. Okay, because whenever it is a railway bridge, we have to supposed to use RDSO guidelines for seismic. Okay, and whenever we are using road over bridges or road bridges, we can use 1893. Even some of the clauses they are given in IRC 6 also. Okay, for road bridges. So if there is any question now, okay, because it is exactly 2 o'clock. If there is any question, we'll have some discussions here. You can put in chat box.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If there is any question.
So participants can type their question in the chat box, and then sir will explain that. So you can take the screenshot.
If there are no questions, then let us.
Email address and mobile number was given. If you have any difficulty regarding that, you can also connect to Dr. R.K. Ingre sir through email.
No, I'm just handing over to the organizers. Okay. Khandwe sir.
Yes, sir.
You can just take over
for the question. And
okay. Yeah, there is one question has come. Okay.
Yes, sir.
It is mentioned that if the building is at the boundary of 2 seismic zone, it can be building, it can be bridge also. Then go for a higher zone. Okay. See, economy. See, economy is something different. Okay. See, safety is first. Okay.
Yes, sir.
See, economy is secondary. Economy comes because of many other things. Okay. See, safety is first. We have to make sure that our structures, they withstand the forces given by the code. Okay. So economy will not be there. Then somebody will say, oh, why to take earthquake force? Why to take lie load? Okay. Just design only for some dead load and some lie load. Okay. See, that is not our choice. We have to make sure that we are designing at least for whatever given in the code. Code gives minimum. See, this importance factor. That is a minimum importance factor is given. As a designer, see, let's say suppose I have to construct one building. Let's say my own residential building I have to construct. Now, code suggests that for residential building, I can use go for response reduction factor as a importance factor as a 1. I will say no, because see, concept of earthquake resistance structure, which I am going to cover tomorrow's lecture. Okay, it will be clear.
Huh?
See, this code, we are not designing for full earthquake force. We are designing only for 1/10 of earthquake force. Okay. Now, if that particular earthquake comes, that means your building will collapse. No, it will not collapse, but it will be not possible to rehabilitate that particular building. Okay. It is impossible to rehabilitate that building. Now, in such case, what happens? Suppose I want my building to be even livable, even for that particular thing. So what I will do? I will take response. This importance factor is a 2. Okay. What I will say, instead of spending 10 lakhs rupees, I will spend 12 lakhs rupees. Okay. See, making it 2 doesn't mean that you are increasing your cost by 2 times. Okay. So it is not economy by taking lower things. Okay. We have to take at least minimum whatever is given by code. See, otherwise what will happen? If something happens, okay, and the matter goes to court, as a designer, first person will be the designer who will be go inside, right, because he has not taken proper care. Okay. So let us not violate the code in taking this thing. Okay. Yes. Any other question? Explain about construction stage analysis of bridge. See, construction stage analysis itself is a big topic.
Yeah.
Okay. But I will give an example here. Okay. Now, let's say we are constructing a cable stay bridge. Okay. Now, while doing that, we have got super substructure. Okay. And what happens? Cable stay bridge, whole superstructure is not constructed. First, we take only one cable. Then we construct up to that particular cable. Then we go to next cable and then we extend our superstructure like that. Now, in that case, what happened? We have to make sure that that first cable and first segment of superstructure is safe for that particular condition. Okay, and for the lie load, construction stage lie load which is coming, then we go for second stage like that. Okay, so that is called construction stage analysis. Even it will be there in buildings also, because buildings, what happens? We do one story construction first, then next story, then next story, next story. Okay, for multi-story building, we have to consider this construction stage analysis. Otherwise, we'll be on the wrong side of the design. Okay. Any more question? Okay, I think we'll stop then.
We will stop here. So thanks for the participants for asking questions. And thanks also to Professor R.K. Ingre sir for joining with us this session. And for this session, now we will stop here. And the another session we will start again at 2:30. There will be another interesting case study will be there which will be presented by one of the another guest speaker. So all of you have to use the link of 2:30. So that meeting will get continue after a small break. But the same ID and password for the 2:30 meeting will be continue for the again one next case study session today. So we will stop here for this session, and we will again meet at 2:30, and then we will continue the last session of this HTTP. So thank you for being with us for this today's session. Thank you again.